good, guys? It's your boy Ebru, host of the Dynasty Podcast. I did not hit the intro today, man, because we're starting something new. 10 o'clock show usually going to be happening on when the Knicks are off. You know what I'm saying? So the Knicks are not playing tonight. So we're going to get into some Knicks stuff, man. There's some things I wanted to talk about throughout the week. Actually, everything that occurred on that's going to happen and to talk about in this podcast actually happened today, man. So shout out to New York basketball, NBA New York, NBA underscore New York on Twitter. They're gonna be a big part of this podcast. Shout out to the Westchester Knicks. Shout out to Knicks Film School. I'm gonna be showing something from there. Shout out State. We're gonna talk about something that he posted, and also Bobby Marks as well, man. So this is your boy Diehard Ebro, and we're gonna get busy with this podcast, man. But since I didn't do an intro, uh, I don't think I have one thing there. So anyway, we can just get right into it, man. So yeah. Anyway, Julius Randle, man. Julius Randle is our star player. He's the guy that we're basically building around. He was the first chip. You want to say RJ was the first chip when we drafted him, but then we also signed Julius, man. So we got RJ and Julius. Then we eventually signed Brunson. So now we're starting to build the foundation of our team. What we're trying to get here. We drafted this kid, Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes seems to have cemented himself as a starting shooting guard. That's all fine and dandy. Also, Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson came before everybody. Pause. He was drafted in the second round, and now he's signed to be our starting center. And this, that, and the other. It's a very solid starting lineup. Is it an all-star written starting lineup? Possibly. We got Julius Randle, we got Brunson. They actually might make the all-star team. So we might have two all-stars here. So we don't give our players enough credit. Are they on the level of some of these major all NBA players? Julius Randle and Brunson both can have a conversation when it comes to that. When you talk about the top point guards in the entire league, is Brunson a top 10? Yeah, he's a top 10 guy. Is Brunson an all-star player? Yes, he's an all-star player. Julius Randle, when it comes to power forwards in the NBA, is he a top 10? Yeah, he's pretty much a top 10. Could it be a top five where he could be an all NBA type of player? Well, as long as Giannis and these guys are here, maybe not. But second team all NBA is a possibility. Third team all NBA. You know what I'm saying? So they're still in that group there. But are these guys good enough to lead teams by themselves, like say like a Jason Tatum or say like his counterpart Jalen Brown and stuff like that? It's a whole different story. Talking about 30-point a game scores. Tatum is scoring 30 points a game the last time I checked. I think Jason Tate, excuse me, Jalen Brown, he's averaging like 26, I think, right now. So those guys are major scorers in the NBA. So we just don't have that firepower as far as those type of scores. But as far as the starting lineup, it's a team sport. So like I said, I mentioned Julius, I mentioned RJ, I mentioned Mitch, I mentioned Brunson, I also mentioned Quentin Grimes. That is a very good starting lineup. So the major problem with that is the bench. We have no bench. Right now, we're dealing with Quickley. Quickly's out. So with Quickly being out, we're dead right now. We have nobody coming off the bench to help out. And we'll get into that in a second, man. Shout out to Geraldine that just popped in here. Also, shout out to Mighty Finesse. Definitely, you guys popping in here. It's kind of a shotgun kind of thing, but I will be doing 10 o'clock podcast from now on, man, because it's a time slot that works for me, especially during the week when I'm working. I'm actually off today, so I was gonna take the day off and just enjoy the entire night. But a couple things that I want to talk about that happened today that I don't want to really let a game and then another day pass before I start talking about the stuff. So let's really get right into it. Let's put the stuff on the screen, man. So listen, we got Julius Randle here, man. This is Julius Randle's stats here. Once again, shout out to NBA underscore New York on Twitter. These guys post everything before you can even think about it. They already made a post and a meme and everything they're associated with it, man. So this is something that was shared from another site. Just Julius Randle, where he ranks among these players. So I mentioned him saying that is he a top 10 power forward in the NBA? Possibly top five, if you make that argument. You know what I'm saying? So here goes the argument here. You want to talk about total points, all players through week 14. Luca, of course, is number one. Jason Tatum's right behind him. You got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and then now you got Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards. So these are the top scorers. It says regular season leaders, total points through week 14. This has to do with guys being healthy, being able to show up, every single game in order to register these points. So Julius Randle is always ready to play. He shows up healthy. He plays extremely hard, plays a lot of minutes, a lot of usage, a lot of dribbling. Like he does everything. For all the complaints that we do for Julius Randle, he's always prepared to play 48 minutes every single night, man. And he's prepared to do everything regardless of the fact if you think whatever he's doing is not good. He's still is prepared to play every single night, man. So this is a testament to that. So I mean, he is amongst the NBA leaders out there. So as bad as people are at this guy, he's still amongst the leaders. let's take it the next stat here. Is talking about total rebounds. So of course, like I said, this has to do with him being healthy and that type of thing. But he is still top of the league in rebounding. Look at Sabonis at 540, and then Julius Randle at 521. Look at some of the other guys. Nikola Vucevic, he's a guy that people don't really think about as far as rebounding, but he's always been a solid rebounder, double double, guy for a long time. Along with being a 20-point scorer and a 3-point shooter at times, he could post up and he can get rebounds too. So shout out to Zubac. Zubac is a very underrated player. He's been playing well for the Clippers for a lot of years. Zubac, you can compare him to like a Mitchell Robinson type, but when it comes to those two players, I think I want Zubac ahead of Mitchell Robinson, just for the simple fact that he can finish around the rim and stuff like that. Same thing with Steven Adams. These guys are basically kind of similar. When the shit hits the fan, Zubac and Steven Adams are right in the mix of things. To not to be an enforcer or to be anything, anything left. I'm just talking about basketball, making basketball plays. These guys are really good at their position to be that enforcer or just to be that barrier between whoever's popping off and the other teammate. The person that pulls the players apart. They're definitely a part of that. Mitchell Robinson, not so much, man. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't even say anything. There was a play, the last game, no, not the last game that Mitchell Robinson played. I'm gonna say they were like, piling up, getting ready to run the inbounds play, and guys were chirping in there, and Mitchell Robinson standing right there. He just like ignored it, not saying anything. But a big man's job is to say something. Hey, all right, play ball, say something. Don't say anything. You know what I'm saying? The only time you ever see Mitchell Robinson saying anything is if the referees are calling something and he's throwing his hands and he's doing his little temper tantrums and stuff. So, I don't want to make this into a Mitchell Robinson thing. It always is because I just he really irks me, man. But this, Vucevic, Zubac, and Steven Adams, you can see what they bring there. But I'm talking about Julius Randle, 521 total rebounds and stuff like that. Like I said, the points, he's in fourth in points all, as far as total points. So I mean, this guy is good, man. So we got to give him his props. The problem with Mitchell Robinson is we'll get into that as well. Is that he doesn't have a proper backup. Shout out to Obi. I'm not going to talk badly about Obi because I already did enough talking about you know my man freaking Mitchell Robinson. So I'm not going to talk badly about Mitchell Robinson anymore. I'm not going to talk badly about Obi at all. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is that we do need a backup. So this is something that no one's ever talked about either, man. The last few years, if you look at players and stuff like that, this guy Garrison Brooks here from Westchester Knicks. This is him here on the left here. He's from North Carolina, I believe. He played in North Carolina, so he's a power forward. One of the reasons why that he's not in the NBA is because he doesn't shoot the three. Let's just keep it a buck. All these NBA players, like now in the modern era, you have to shoot the three, and it's messing the game up because the physicality is off. You know what I'm saying? The rebounding and just the toughness out there. You want to talk about defense? It's all off because they rather have the big man shooting 3-point shots. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Shout out to I'm trying to think of Harrell, the dude that's the backup center for Philly right now. He's a good post up player. He can rebound and stuff like that. He mixes it up inside, but he doesn't shoot the three. It's not because he's a bad player. Like if you give him the minutes and give him the touches, he'll get 18 points per game. You know what I'm saying? Same thing like this guy here, Garrison Brooks. As you're looking at this replay here, you see he's just bullying on the inside. Of course, this is G League players and stuff like that, but just the physicality that he brings to the game here. As he goes inside, risking his body and stuff like that. Stuff like that. People don't want to deal with guys like that, man. So I mean, coming off the bench, the Knicks could really use this. Look at him in the post here. Him posting up, nice move, simple turnaround, pump fake inside, nice big man move there. The Knicks don't have anybody that could do that. We do have Obi, but Obi doesn't have the size to do that. Look at him. Seal his man off, just make a decision and start getting into his post moves. Here he goes on the inside there, fighting for rebounds. This is him running the floor here, able to find a big man there. So he could pass. He runs the floor really well. As you can see, he can finish. So this is the first time I'm really looking at this whole thing here. So it's nothing special, nothing really to look at here. We got a guy like Jericho Sims, so I could throw Jericho Sims in the mix too. Jericho Sims has been playing a lot of center, but it's like Tom Thibodeau doesn't want to use him anywhere else but center, and it's because of the 3-point shot. And I think that's annoying because like when it comes to how we play, we have our certain guys that do shoot threes and stuff, but we can use Jericho Sims at the power forward spot. Just because he can guard the perimeter. That's the big thing about Jericho. I'm watching Garrison Brooks here. He can do the same thing. He's been guarding the perimeter in this clip. He runs the floor and things of that nature. So it's one tapped place that we can find talent. Which is the G League, and I think that's very important. And like literally, nobody's talking about it. So aside from Garrison Brooks, there's quite a few other players here on the G League team. So I'm looking at Basketball Reference here. So shout out to Basketball Reference. These are some of the guys here that's play for them. Of course, Speed played for them. Miles McBride played 2 games. Jericho Sims played 2 games. Here goes another guy, Jaquan Jeffries. He's like a shooting guard. We definitely need help off the bench as a shooting guard. So why don't we call some of these guys up that's playing in the G League? Shout out to Farron Hunt. We actually traded Farron Hunt. MJ Walker is a guy that's been around for a couple of years, man. Just like ragtag kind of guy, defensive player. He scores a little bit in the G League, but he's not really like one of the big main guys. This guy's James Akijo. For anybody that watched him play in college, man, he's a really good player. I think he's like either leads the league, the G League in assist, or he's like top 3 in assist in the G League. That's James Akinjo. So he's really good. And he's kind of undersized, but we need help at the point guard. So why don't we call up our guy that's like one of the top point guards in the G League? How come he doesn't get a look at any point of this game, of the season? I already mentioned Garrison Brooks. Trevor Keels is not ready. And you got quite a other few guys here. You got Quentin Rose here is one guy that we possibly could call up. Quentin Rose is he plays the same position as Farron Hunt, really. He's more of a slasher, he's skinny, but he can score. So he could really score, man. So I'm gonna take a look at some of these stats here. 'Cause I got the screen a little bit too blown up here. We got quite a few things here. This is overblown. This is feed stats here, 35, 35. But you got a couple guys here that's been playing a lot of minutes. This is Garrison Brooks stats, 13 and 12. Some of these other guys here, 12, 11, 12. There's a lot of, I mean, they've been playing a lot of guys all year. This 18 point and 19 point person here. Let me see who that is there. I think one of those is yeah, Jaquan Jeffries, I believe, is averaging 18 points a game. That's Mr. Jeffries. So that's another guy that we could pull from. He's a good rebounder, for his position. Plays hard defense, what I'm saying, very strong player. So Jake, Daquan Jeffries could be a guy that we could call up. So those are 2 guys right away that could help us right now. Garrison Brooks and the Jaquan Jeffries. So why are we stockpiling players like that? Of course, Akijo also. Akijo also been playing really well. What's his assists? 9 assists, 14 points, nine assists. Um, his shooting percentages could be better. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we got guys like Miles McBride that are starting for us. As defensive players. But we really need help creating and shot making and that type of thing, man. So it's interesting to talk about it. But these are just untapped places here that we can go to as far as players and stuff. So I'm gonna get into the next thing here. I'm basically talking about quickly next. But before we do, let me just go and get into the chat because I see a couple guys here that I recognize. Once again, shout out to Almighty Finesse and Geraldine. Uh, so Mighty Finesse is talking about tanking. The whole roster's terrible. I want Scoot Henderson, same old shit. Shout out to Kareem Grant. Kareem Grant's hanging out here. Uh, Kareem said he likes Brooks. Yeah, Garrison Brooks is decent, man. We're talking about G League teams, but I'm just doing it just because no one else is talking about it. So it's worth talking about it, just to see how we can get better. This is my man Terran Mosley here. He said Tibbs is in the way. He got to go to another team. Absolutely, I agree with it. Anything that somebody would say here, I'm not going to argue it. All this stuff here, anything that anybody could say is valid because the Knicks are literally in limbo. We did podcast talking about that. We're going to win the next 5 games. I was just on Sim Show, when we were in Washington. I mean, Washington D.C. We were talking about that. That we possibly could win the next 5 games, and here we go losing the next 4 games. Saying or 4 games total. We still got a couple more games coming up that we possibly that was a part of that 5 game winning streak, but we weren't able to capitalize on that stuff, man. So now we're entering a stretch where these games we're going to be playing Miami, we're going to be playing Brooklyn finally. So we got 4 games against Brooklyn, 4 games against Miami coming up in the second half of this year. Cleveland is coming up. Boston is coming up. We got quite a few powerhouse teams that we're going to be playing next, and we're guaranteed to lose every last one of those games. Just losing quickly kills the whole team. Losing RJ didn't really hurt us as much as losing quickly. It's because we have nobody to sub. A lot of you were against benching RJ, but it's not about benching RJ and reducing his minutes. He can still get his 30 minutes, but it's just that the balance coming off the bench, where we can rely on somebody to come off the bench to do something, will be beneficial to what this team is trying to do here. You know what I'm saying? So it is very frustrating. We do watch alongs and stuff on this channel. Shout out to Korean Granny, he's hanging out with me last night and stuff. But it's just very frustrating because as soon as something goes down, like quickly, he gets hurt and now we have nothing. And then Tom Thibodeau, like Terry Mosley mentioned, he's basically biting himself in his own ass because he don't play Fournier and he doesn't play Derrick Rose, two guys that nobody wants to see play. But when it comes down to injuries and stuff like that, these guys, we need them to play. So if they're not playing and then all of a sudden now you need them because one of your main guys got hurt, now you're dead. Now you're dead. How do you get better? How do you compete? So right off the bat, Deuce McBride did a great job coming in here and he gave us a big spark. When Tom Thibodeau cut it down to a 9-man rotation, and Deuce got the call over Rose and that type of thing. We did have a nice spark. It was really nice. But now Deuce McBride's minutes is going back down to 5 minutes per game at this point now. So now that you got Deuce McBride's minutes at 5 minutes per game, that means that whatever spark that he gave you is not there anymore. You know what I'm saying? So there's plenty of times where the ball gets to Deuce, and now has to create because quickly now is hurt. So now Deuce has to score. Deuce can't score. He cannot score on the NBA level. At least he doesn't even try. So now I wish that Derrick Rose was in the rotation, at least getting a little bit of minutes to show whatever now, because now we definitely need him. So I'm quite sure Derrick Rose is like, okay, well, listen, I don't want to play at all. Trade me, or I'll just let my contract play out and I'll do it again next year. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, right now we literally need Derrick Rose. Like Derrick Rose, at least he can get if he gets the ball, he's not going to be looking for Julius to help him. He's not going to be looking for anybody else to help him. He can create his own shot still at this age and whatever. He still has all this athleticism. He's in the best shape of his career, probably. So he can still get to the basket. He can shoot, still hit a spot up 3-point shot. He can still pull up over guys and shoot. So I mean, the guy is an asset to us, and we literally not playing him just simply because Tom Thibodeau is stubborn, shooting his own self in the foot. You know what I'm saying? Is ricocheting up his leg, straight and coming out his ass. So it's very annoying, man. So let me get into the rest of you guys here. So before I start talking about quickly and stuff. Yeah, RJ is way overrated, definitely, man. But Terran Mosley, if you notice the last couple of games, he's actually been finishing those moves that we've been begging for him to finish, man. So if he can get into the paint and finish those little things, that's going to be something to keep us going throughout the game. Him getting those shots, whatever. But it's not something that we're dying for. It's something that we need in the flow, but it's not something that we can live without. You know what I'm saying? Because RJ was hurt, and we didn't need. It's like we didn't need him when he was hurt. You know what I'm saying? But in order for us to be a really good team, we need him there because he's going to get those shots throughout the game. That's not really he's not really taking it over the game. He can't really create his own shot, but him being able to get those little chippy points here and there is going to be beneficial for us going forward and stuff like that. As we build this team. But it is what it is. I really don't know what to do here. What's the name? Almighty Finesse. Why are you showing G League players? Who cares? Somebody got to care. It's our G League team. Somebody got to care. But right now we got like 6 second round picks, and we got all these first round draft picks. No trade on the horizon. Like I said, I'll get to that at the end here. But no trade on the horizon. So that means we're gonna enter the offseason with all these draft picks, and we're gonna draft all these guys. And where are they gonna go? They're not going on the main roster. Where they going? They're going to the freaking G League. All of those picks. And Tom Thibodeau's not playing any of them. So that's why I'm shining some light on the Westchester Knicks. If you want to be a dick about it, you know what I'm saying. So that's essentially where we're going now. Like if we got all these picks to stockpile just for us to draft players, and Tom Thibodeau not even use them. So what are we doing? What are we doing? That is the rabbit hole that we're going down. So it still remains to be seen if we're ever going to make a trade here. It's January 23rd at the moment. The trade deadline is February 10th, if I'm not mistaken. So we only have but so much time, man, before the season's over. Before the trade season is over, and it doesn't seem like we're going to do anything. Shout out to Kevin Taylor here. Unless they are into a contract, you just can't bring them without cutting somebody and paying them. So listen, Kevin Taylor, I get what you're saying, man. But Tom Thibodeau is not playing Archie. He's not playing Sfee. Not playing any of these guys, man. So We actually do need a help at the power forward spot. So what can we do to get better? That's what I'm trying to say here. What can we do to get better? If these guys can't make a trade, it's nothing like that. Then if in order for us to try to get better, then how do we do that? We got to do that by moving somebody up. You know, injury reserve players too. Mitchell Robinson is hurt. So we might be able to finagle that some kind of way, especially if somebody else gets hurt. Now you're talking about hardships and something, all that sort of stuff. No, I mean I'm just pulling at strings here, man. But I mean, right now the Knicks are pulling at strings, so you have to talk about everything. You have to talk about every facet of what's happening. Shout out to Kareem. Kareem says, tanking don't work out for us. Not his parents. Yeah, it's true, man. Tanking is not guaranteed. We can literally stop now and tank. The way that other teams are playing in the NBA, it might push us all the way, pretty far into the lottery contention. You know what I'm saying? If we start losing, like I think we will, you know what I'm saying, without the help that we need, we might start losing games. We might actually be, on the outside looking in, in playoff contention and stuff like that. So if that is the case, then we will be in we'll have a chance to get a top pick. We just have to get lucky. So you got to get lucky anyway. Listen, we had the worst record when we had RJ. So it was almost guaranteed that we should have gotten Zion, but we got screwed with the lottery too. So it is what it is. We could have got the second pick or the first pick, but we ended up getting third, and we had the worst record. So it's no, you can't win. Can't win for losing. Or whatever cliche you want to say. So I just want to throw back out there. Yeah, you can't call anybody up. They have to be on a two-way contract. Yeah, I got you, man. But like you said, you have to waive somebody to sign somebody. I get that too. But anybody on this roster that we really need or anything like that, players can be traded for second round picks, that type of thing. We already have some rumors of Cam Reddish being traded for a second round pick. So maybe the Knicks will be inclined to do that trade to get some kind of picks, whatever, just to get the roster spot open so they can make these move call ups and stuff like that to bring some of these guys in the G League up to see if they got anything for us. You know what I'm saying? We're getting close to that time. You want to talk about tanking, and stuff like that. If the Knicks start losing, then that extra roster spot is going to be valuable. I kind of figured that that kid Daquan Jeffries will probably be the first one to be called up. They seem to really like him in the G League there. So anyway, I got to get my phone together here. Let me just do this real quick. Let me do this real quick. Because I know you guys like to you guys are my regulars and stuff like that. But I don't have StreamYard anymore. I'm actually using a different thing there. I'm using Melon, the Melon app for those that are familiar with that. Using the Melon app. So I'm doing something really quick here because I can't do it on my I can't do this function here on the Melon app, but I gotta do it here. Let me see. There you go. So I just put a mighty finesse on timeout. That way I don't have to fucking see his bullshit, because he is distracting and he's doing that. The stuff that he's saying, he's doing on purpose because he says it almost every single time. So I know you like to come onto the show and have a good time and stuff, man. But listen, I don't want to see the bullshit. I don't feel like cursing you out and messing up the stream and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna keep scrolling. We got Top Notch here. Shout out to Top Notch T. What's good, my brother? What else we got? Okay, let's see what you got saying here. You said just want to say the same play, stay in the same place until he run our players into the ground. Yeah, it's annoying. It's very annoying. But you know what also is annoying to keep seeing the same trolling stuff. Like I said, shout out to Almighty Finesse. The same trolling stuff that he does, all the time. You get tired of seeing the same shit over and over and over again. The way that we run our offense, the way that Julius Randle gets frustrated, gets triple teamed, they can't find the open man, and stuff like that. We'll get into that in a second as well. All that stuff is extremely frustrating, and it puts us Knicks fans in a spot where we're talking about G League teams and stuff like that, trying to figure out how the hell are we going to get ourselves better and stuff like that. So I'm gonna finish what you're saying. He said, "Why is trading Cam the big thing around the Knicks talk? He's the only small forward that can guard." Absolutely. So outside of talking for trades, like I said, we're gonna talk about Quickly and trades and stuff like that. So anyway, I got Quickly on the screen here anyway. So Quickly is questionable for the next game here. Like we absolutely have nobody to back him up. We have nobody to back the Knicks up right now. Quickly when he comes in, Quickly does so much for us. So shout out to like I said, RJ, like benching RJ. People think that's stupid, but if RJ's coming off the bench, like just like Quickly is very valuable. Quickly comes in and still gets heavy minutes for us. So RJ coming off the bench could still get those same minutes. But the key is if you're gonna make those two guys come off the bench, then you got to have a starter in place that's going to do something. Right now, Quentin Grimes is decent as long as Quentin Grimes is available. Quentin Grimes could do what he does. He contributes, but we have an open spot for Cam Reddish to be that starter, to be that guy that kind of blends in, maybe take advantage of his finishing ability, being able to play off the ball, that type of thing. Because Cam Reddish is literally not trying to score; he's just trying to blend in. So let him be that defender. Give him a role, 3-point shooter, slasher. Defender, defending the team's best player. Let him do that, and then after a few minutes, then bring RJ in. Like when it comes down to like the end of the first quarter or middle of the first quarter or something like that. Bring RJ in, and then you can start flipping it around. Once you start bringing IQ in, and you bring RJ in, now you have that extra, what I'm saying, offensive firepower going in without screwing up the starting lineup because Julius, Cam Reddish, Mitchell Robinson, Brunson, and Quentin Grimes is not a bad starting lineup. It's a very good defensive starting lineup, if you ask me. So I'm quite sure you agree with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about getting the most out of our players. Tom Thibodeau wants to play these guys like 40 something minutes by taking RJ out of the starting lineup. Now RJ won't play 40 minutes. Hopefully he'll play less than 40. You know what I'm saying? Because you have Cam Reddish involved in what's happening too. So it is what it is. It's about trying to build a strategy. That's why I mentioned I talked about Julius Randle's stats and stuff. Then I started mentioning the G League. Now I'm talking about IQ and how we can flip the roster, take advantage of our bench and stuff. Because like I said, I don't see a trade happening right now. But before we get into trades and stuff, let's take a look at Knicks Film School, man. So Knicks Film School, when I started following these guys, Knicks Film School, they actually was doing Knicks Film School. They were actually showing Knicks film and breaking it down. Now they started getting into the regular tabloid, functions. The same thing that the rest of us do these little podcasts and stuff like that. But they don't really do any breakdowns like that anymore, man. So shout out to Ben Ritzholt, NBA. I think he was by himself, and then now he's affiliated with Knicks Film School. Also, the Strickland, it looks like, but I think he was by himself at one point. So anyway, he does a really good job breaking down this video. So he broke down the argument that Fournier and Randall had. So I mean, the argument that they had, they've had those arguments before. They had them last year openly, but this one, if you watch this video here, I recommend you find this video. This is from Knicks Film School on Twitter. It's gonna be Ridholtz here. You can see it on the screen here. Actually, maybe I should put this in the chat so for you guys to take a look at this video on your own leisure here. So I'll do that. I'll put this link in the chat for that video. So check it out. Check it out when you get a chance, man. But I'll play a little bit of it here. The sound will be off. Just playing the video here. So this is these guys. You see them arguing with each other. They say, like, watch behind the referee. You see them arguing right on camera. They're arguing because he's frustrated with Julius Randle's not moving the ball, not moving the damn ball. So the most important thing here is the last play. Just watch Julius Randle as he dribbles up the court here. A little bit of lagging here because he's talking. It's not me. That's he's making talking points. But look as they run it. Look at Fournier wide open at the bottom of the screen. You see as the video starts to play. So he's wide open at the bottom of the screen, and you can easily make that pass there. Now he's looking for the ball. So instead of making the pass to move the ball, Julius Randle causes an offensive foul. He throws the ball behind him. He's all frustrated. Once again, shout out to Ben Ritzholtz there from Knicks Film School. He gets frustrated, and then that's when Fournier comes over and starts talking to him. And they start doing whatever they do there. That's extremely frustrating. Like I said, that's another part of the frustrating thing that goes on here. Julius Randle, like I said, I talked about him earlier. He's having a fantastic year. You got to give him his props and his credit for playing so well. But at the same time, you got things like this where he totally like implodes and it destroys the team just for the simple fact that he doesn't move the ball. He thinks that he needs to do everything himself. He doesn't get to see. He has the same problem that Melo had. That when Melo was here, Melo just felt like he was the best shot out there. Yes, Melo was. Melo is one of the greatest scorers that ever played this game. But at the same time, you make that one pass and let the pass come back to you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's looking for you anyway. So everybody's afraid to shoot when Melo's on the court. So if they make a move, they're gonna be looking for you, especially this club with Julius. Guys like Deuce McBride, guys like Quentin Grimes, guys like Mitchell Robinson, once they get the ball, they're looking for Julius. So Julius needs to get rid of the ball. That way he can get a little of some of this pressure away from him. Get rid of the ball. The ball will find its way back to him. So I mean, that's a very important concept that Julius Randle needs to figure out. But right now, Fournier hasn't been playing, man. So since Fournier's not playing, Fournier doesn't have a leg to stand in. Julius is right. Fournier's on the bench. He's a bum. And it is what it is, man. So it's a terrible like kind of like wheel that's happening right now that we're just in a bad spot, man. We're in a bad spot overall, man. So shout out to Korean Granny. He mentioned Grayson Allen, man. So who the fuck is Grayson Allen? So we'll talk about Grayson Allen in a second here. So I just want to see what you guys saying here. You said I like the show, King. Tell it like it is. Definitely worth tuning in. Where all right, thank you, man. Definitely, I know you guys are subscribed. Before you get out of here, please hit the like and stuff like that. Because I'm trying to do my shit here. Every day at 10 o'clock, I'll be not every day, but every day the Knicks aren't playing, I'll try to come in here at 10 o'clock to get some stuff going on here. So right now, this is like a pilot episode. If you guys want to do some call-ins, let me know. I can do that for you. Get the call-ins available so you guys can have that conversation with me and stuff. I'm gonna try to stay on for about an hour. Maybe if we could push it a little bit further than that, but that's what I'm doing here. Right now we're 30 minutes in. Maybe I'll jump in, open the phone lines tonight. If anybody wants to pop in, we could do that. But speaking of my man Grayson Allen, we're gonna do Grayson Allen right now. So here he goes. Here, this is big Nick Energy. Shout out to those guys too. They used to be on fan side. They used to be on fan side, and then he started Big Nick Energy. So he's like trying to do the same thing with fan side, but this is basically his company in there. So shout out to him. This is a report based on Mike Scotto. So guys that follow Mike Scotto there, you can see him on the screen there. He's a US Today. He works for US Today Sports. He says he's a NBA writer and a podcast host for Hoops Hype. So shout out to Hoops Hype. I use Hoops Hype a lot. I like Hoops Hype. So he comes from a reputable place there. So he says that the Knicks and the Bucks have had discussions about Grayson Allen and Cam Reddish. Now this makes a little bit more sense than a Reggie Bullock. You know what I'm saying? But they are kind of like the same player. People say that Grayson Allen don't have no bounce and stuff like that, but neither does Reggie Bullock. What these guys could do, they could shoot the three and they could play some hard ass defense. Grayson Allen will bang it on you though. He will get a step and he will bang it on you. I think he did it to the Knicks the other day, where he got a little bit of step on the fast break and got in there and touched that rim. You know what I'm saying? So Grayson Allen could play this game, man. He might have some mental health issues or whatever, but we're talking about a guy coming off the bench that's not afraid to come off the bench. He doesn't mind that. He doesn't mind confrontation. We have a lot of nice guys on this team, man, that are afraid of confrontation. They just out there trying to play. They get talked down to by other players on the other teams. Even though we're playing hard and physical, they get talked down to. But the thing with getting a guy like Grayson Allen is that when you put him in the game, there he's gonna hurt somebody. But the thing with Grayson Allen, he like literally might hurt them. You know what I'm saying? But you kind of need that. You kind of need those guys that really don't give a damn. They really love the game and they don't care about what happens to them. They're out there competing and whatever. So I mean, you can start with Deuce. I'm not Deuce. Quentin Grimes as a starter. Now you bring in Grayson Allen coming off the bench. He's still going to provide the same thing that Quentin Grimes is going to do, except he's going to be on the edge. So he's going to be somebody that you're not going to be relying on so much for to play heavy minutes and stuff. But he's actually the starter for in with the Bucks now. So that's why I understand why this rumor came about, because like I said, he actually started for them a lot this year. Even when Middleton he comes back, Middleton will be playing small forward. This dude still might be the starting shooting guard for them. So it's interesting, man. So anyway, they were talking about those things there. So I made a little comment here. He said he's a gamer. Guys keep begging for goons, and I'm like, here you go. This is like if this is a real rumor, and we're able to get Grayson Allen. You want a goon? Here he goes. This is the goon that everybody wants here, right? So interstate. So look at the word here. This is my key word here that I don't like to use. Grayson Allen, and he drops it, and then he says, spare us. So that's how State gives it up. That's why he's not on the channel anymore, because he would rather be on Twitter doing this shit, trolling people on Twitter. He does this on Twitter Spaces, and he does the videos and stuff that he does. So I mean, he's very successful doing that, and not for nothing, he does a good job with that. He does a really good job with that for that lane and stuff like that. So I got a lot of respect for State. Like I said, I would like to help him as much as he can, as I can if he needs it. You know what I'm saying? So but that's the type of stuff that he does. So anyway, I scrolled down without getting into it with him, because I could have. Because look at the comments. He said dog shit ass reply. You know what I'm saying? How do you, that's how he gives it up on Twitter, man. So I don't tolerate that shit. But like I said, I got respect for State. So I'm not gonna make it a big deal about it. But this is what I said to him. I said, you complain a lot. What would satisfy State? A time machine, firing Tibbs, and tanking are off the table. Now go. I threw the mic to him. That's Papa Doc getting the mic from Marshall Mathers right here. So anyway, I got one like. I don't know who liked it. Only 39 people saw it, and State did not reply to it. You know what I'm saying? So the key thing is we just want to keep trolling about the same thing. But let's do this, right? We're gonna get into this, right? Like I said, State is good with what he does here, right? So State has been banned a bunch of times. Look at his following. He's still got like over 1,000 followers. The engagement of all his posts are crazy, right? Check out some of the videos that he posts. Like he'll have thousands of views on the shit that he says. The viewership, 984 people watch something that he posted. You could just go down the line. He goes another one, 580 something people watch something that he posted. You know what I'm saying? So he has a lot of influence in this in this space here. So the reason why I say that is because like people want to see the bullshit. Shout out to Almighty Finesse. He wants to post the bullshit. Same thing like State's doing here with all the stuff that he says. So people will rather see the nonsense rather than have a conversation. So like I said, shout out to Almighty Finesse. Like I said, I appreciate you coming on the show and stuff like that. But you're annoying, man. Like people. He wants to know why are we talking about the Westchester Knicks. At the same time, why are we dropping n bombs on Twitter just based off of a mention in the post there? Then I ask you a simple question about what would satisfy you, and I get no response. You know what I'm saying? And nobody gives a fuck if you give the response either, because only 39 people saw this post. You get what I'm trying to say? So that's the bullshit that you deal with on the internet, man. So anyway, shout out to Andy. Andy was trying to be funny here. Also, he posted a trade to troll State here with the Alfred Payton for Cam Reddish. It actually works in the trade checker, as you can see. This actually is a successful trade here. But check out the wins. The computer here for Fanspo said that the Knicks will actually get one more win if we traded for Alfred Payton. Ain't that some funny shit? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. This internet shit is very crazy, very tricky. Trying my best to navigate through it without having to go too crazy with it or take things so personally. But it is what it is, man. The Knicks don't have much options as far as trades and stuff like that is concerned. But this guy Grayson Allen, if he's available, he's someone that can help the Knicks. Right now, the Knicks don't have anybody that we can pull from. Now that Quickly's out, that's going to help this roster. Like I said, the Knicks done killed Fournier already. Fournier's got to go. He's got to go to a different team because he would never be able to get the rhythm that he needs in order to be a successful basketball player. So Fournier needs to go. Derrick Rose already checked out, at the beginning of the season because of what Tom Thibodeau has been doing to him this year. So he already checked out, this year. So we can't call on Rose. You know what I'm saying? So we have to look on the outside, and if this guy's available, this is somebody that we need to take a look at. So the first big trade, of the new year, I want to say, is this one here. This is Bobby Marks, which I don't like anything Bobby Marks posts, man. He's usually he does a lot of breakdowns and stuff like that. He's supposed to be a expert. He's a former NBA GM and that type of thing. But he's a freaking I don't want to say he's a moron, but I just don't like his takes. I don't like his breakdowns and stuff like that. Sometimes he's good, but I guess people could say that about me too, with some of the stuff I say here. But this is basically the trade. He wrote it on a what do you call a grease board here because that's what real GMs do. They put the stuff on grease boards. That shows you how smart and how intelligent they are if you see it on the grease board. So that's why I chose to post this there because now that I use Bobby Mark's grease board thing, now my channel is gonna go sky high now. Because I'm using such great content, right? So anyway, the Lakers traded for Ryu Hachimura, right? They traded Kendrick Dunn whatever. As you can see, the money is about the same, so things are nice and smooth. But they did add a whole bunch of second round picks to that Kendrick Nunn stuff. So the Lakers sent all. I mean, they sent all these second round picks. They sent Chicago second. They sent Washington, LA. They had a second one, least favorable one. It says, and then 2029 second round pick. So I mean, this is like swap meet shit here. You know what I'm saying? These second round picks from 2029. So I mean, what is it? 2023 right now? So we're talking about kids that are like in junior high school right now that we trading these second round picks for somebody that's not probably even going to make the roster. So three picks that, like I said, more than likely will not make the roster is included in this trade for Kendrick Nunn. So I mean, like how much how does that make you better? So anyway, they traded Kendrick Nunn is barely playing on the Lakers to the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards already have guards there too, so it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, they had a lot of forwards too, so they need to figure something out. So anyway, the Lakers do get something that they need. They needed a forward because this guy Anthony Davis can't stay healthy, so they need somebody that could be a stopgap in between time to hold the Lakers down while that guy is out. So anyway, these are trades. So I'm gonna say this about the Wizards. You know, they're trying to make the playoffs. This guy Kendrick Nunn averaged 14 points per game with Miami while they were playing well. You know what I'm saying? So this is a guy that could play well if he's given minutes and stuff like that. So I mean, they do need help in the backup point guard spot. You know, so outside of who's their starter, he actually could probably start for them too at times. You know, I'm not really familiar with the Washington Wizards roster at the moment, even though we just played them twice. Let me take a look at the Washington Wizards really quick since we're here. I'm gonna do it manually on my phone while I'm doing this here. So let me check this out really quick. Bear with me, guys. Washington Wizards. Yeah, man. Shout out to Wizards, man. We got a chance to see them twice. I actually went to DC with the guys from the MBK. You know, I had a decent time and stuff. So I mean, the Wizards haven't played in a couple days. I'm looking. So they played on Saturday, I believe. So I'm looking to see when their game is. Okay, so they played against the Magic on Saturday. They actually scored a lot of points. Uh, I think Rui Hachimura actually had like his career high. Where's Hachimura? Hachimura had 30 points. So Hachimura actually had his career high before he got traded. So 30 points for Hachimura. Their starting point guard at the moment is Morris. That's what's his first name? His first name is Monte Morris. So Monte Morris is their starting point guard. He's averaging only like 10 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. So he's decent, but he's a backup point guard to tell you the truth. So getting Kendrick Nunn, like I said, Kendrick Nunn can actually start for them. If Kendrick Nunn comes there and he starts playing the way he did before, Kendrick Nunn can actually start for them over there. So they technically might have gotten better. I'm looking at their backup point guard. Oh, it's DeLon Wright. Is that his name? That dude, is it DeLon Wright? Yes, DeLon Wright. So DeLon Wright is an underachiever. He hasn't really been playing well this year. He only has averaging 6, 2, and 3. So I mean, like I said, Kendrick Nunn could absolutely help them over there too. He has the potential to be a starter for them, or just at least be a better backup. Or he can also play a little bit of a shooting guard too, man. So he definitely could help their team because they don't really have anybody. They have Will Barton. They won't use him. I don't understand. They've been using Kispert at shooting guard. Like I said, so I said it that I don't know why they did it, but now I see he does have a place to play things. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that they made a trade to help them out. It doesn't seem like it's not gonna groundbreaking trade where like Roy Hachimura is gonna make the Lakers a championship team. Or Kendrick Nunn over there with the Washington, not necessarily gonna make them a perennial playoff team. But they did trade for something to help their roster and get better. So I mean, the Knicks need to do the same thing. It's not something so groundbreaking. All these Cam Reddish trade ideas and stuff like that are coming out there. That he's available. But I'm saying Rose has to go and Fournier. So like I said, we don't have to make such a trade that is so crazy where we have to have this blockbuster trade and we have to go try to get like a superstar and it's like that's not the key thing. The Lakers just went out and got something that they could use, and then the Wizards took back something that they could use from them, man. So that's what the Knicks need. So clearly, we need help on the bench, and it doesn't even matter where we get that help from. We just need help off the bench, from somewhere. One person that I mentioned also is that guy Bogdanovich from Detroit. Let me see if they played recently. I know he's been averaging like 20 something points per game. People gonna say, "Oh, but it's Detroit." But he was doing that on the Utah too with Donovan Mitchell as Donovan Mitchell's second fiddle. And they had success over there, even though they didn't come out. They didn't really come out of the West at all. They did make it to I think the semis. They made it to the semifinals. Every year it seems like. But that guy Bogdanovich, he had 33 points the other night. Today actually had 33 points today, only 3 rebounds, no assists. He was 11 for 15, 6 for 7 from three, 5 for 5 from the free throw line. So people are gonna go straight to the defense. Oh, but he don't play no defense. I just said this guy can get you 33 points off of 15 shots, bro. You know what I'm saying? 33 points over 15 shots. And he only played 28 minutes. So you're talking about a guy that's playing 28 minutes right now. So right off the bat, you take those 28 minutes and stick it on the Knicks bench. This guy Bogdanovich, what's his first name here? His first name is Bogdanovich. He can actually come off the bench and back up Julius and RJ at the forward spots. Somebody that only needs 28 minutes to score 33 points in minimal shots. You trying to tell me we can't use that? And it's somebody that's available on Detroit. Detroit is not going to use him at all, man. He's not going to be used. So since I'm doing that, let me look up Bogdanovich's salary. So let's look up Bajan. I can never pronounce never spell these guys' name correctly, I'm educated. You know what I'm saying, but I can't find the J and stuff like that. So let's do this. I'll do hoops hype. I would put it on the screen, but it's gonna take forever for you to do that too. So we're gonna do hoops hype salary. So he did just sign a contract, but I believe it's like a 2 year type of thing. So let's take a look at it here. I'll just read it off to you whenever it pops up. So he signed it's actually a 3 year deal. It looks like all the years are guaranteed. So this year he's gonna average 19 million. Next year it'll be 20, and the year after that will be 19. So, like I said, as I'm looking at it, I don't see any restrictions on it. So he just basically signed a 3 year deal with Detroit with no player option, no team option, nothing like that. No partially guaranteed. At least I don't see it from here. You know what I'm saying? So $20 million. What can we do to get a player like that? Say Detroit. Detroit has already picked up Derrick Rose once before. So maybe they would take Derrick Rose. We absolutely will have to throw in a first round draft pick or something like that to get Bogdanovich. So is that worth it? Is that worth it? In my opinion, I think it is. In my opinion, I think it is. Bogdanovich. Let me see if I can get his stats here. I'm just gonna read them out to you guys. So Bogdanovich's stats for his career, he's been averaging 15 points per game for his career. Like this year, he's averaging 21. Last year, excuse me, with his career in Utah, which is 3 seasons, all playoff seasons. He basically averaged 18 points per game each year. He actually averaged 21 year. So 18, 4, 1. That's his averages there. Not really too much steals. Basically half a steal, point 0.1 blocks, that type of thing. But free throws, he's not gonna miss a free throw. He shoots well from the 2 point range, and he shoots 40% from three. These are things that we absolutely need. Stuff that we're missing. People say we need a shooter. You know what I'm saying? So there it goes. Bogdan is a shooter. Bogdan is a shooter. A guy that could be a really good scorer. Right now, he looks old as hell, but he is old as hell. He's 33 years old. So I mean, that contract is not the best, but at the same time, what are we gonna do to get better here? We got to figure something out. We got to figure something out here. So let me just say what's up to the chat again. Uh, Trying to catch up with some of these things here. Like and subscribe. Yeah, please do that, guys. And you can see it on the bottom of the screen anyway, man. I keep that up there just so you guys be reminded to like and subscribe, just to keep this podcast going here, man. Shout out to Sherwin. I haven't seen Sherwin in a while, man. Obi has to go. Yeah, Sherwin, listen, Obi is definitely a major player there that needs to be put in that mix. Right now, I think Obi Toppin checked out as well. You want to like people like to talk about giving up on a coach. I think Obi Toppin gave up. I think Rose gave up. Fournier is definitely out of here right now. Who else? This Cam Reddish is out. So but Obi Toppin, I think, literally checked out. Because Obi Toppin's not being utilized the way that he thinks that he should be, and you can just see through his body language and stuff like that. He's just gonna be a spot up 3 point shooter, and that's it. He's not gonna do anything more than that. So having a player like that seems that he's like purposely not playing hard because this is what Tom Thibodeau wants me to do. That's a sucker move there. I'm just alleging that he's doing that. Not really saying that but he's showing that he could possibly be doing that because Obi Toppin could do the same thing that Grimes does. Every time he gets the shot, he could just drive and dunk it. I think he did that the last game. He was able to drive and get a dunk. But what's stopping him from doing that all the time? This is Sherman posting RJ's last few stats here. As you can see, the field goal percentage is up, the 3 point percentage is up. Shout out to the all these little stats here. Everything is up compared to what was happening before. And yeah. So I mean, he's definitely somebody that's been playing a lot better. Shout out to everyone here. I see he says Luis is here. So this is so I see your thing is YouTube clips, man. So I gotta remember that this is my man Luis here, man. So shout out to Luis. Um I can't get Luis's last name at the moment. But my man Luis, he used to do a podcast. I don't think he's done it in a while. But let me just get his name here properly. So we got Luis, right? Make sure I get his name properly without him having to type it. Luis Balletta. I couldn't get your last name, man. Definitely a big Italian motherfucker, an actor, a whole bunch of different things that he does, man. So shout out to Mr. Luis Balletta. Follow him if you can find him on Twitter and Instagram. Very crazy dude, man. Super Knicks fan. He's been on the show before, so if you want to take a look at that, I think he was on Die Hard as a friend, where I interviewed him and stuff like that. Definitely a hardcore Knicks fan. Super passionate and stuff like that. Not a fan of Randall, not a fan of the bullshit, just a fan of the tough shit, and I'm a fan of it too. Mitchell Robinson, I'm not a fan of because he's he resembles or he reminds us of that tough guy that we used to have, but he just isn't that guy. He just isn't that guy. So it's annoying, man. It's definitely annoying to have to keep talking about that shit. But how do we get better? How do we get better? You know? So he goes D Cool 718. So spewing OB hate everywhere. Here he goes with the clown face. Yeah, man. So I get it, right? But OB hate. So what did I say that what did I say that about Obi that's hating? What did I say? I said that all he wants to do is shoot the 3-point shot in the corner. I feel like that he might have checked out. Is that hate? I feel like he might have checked out because he's not really playing to his strengths at all. He has every opportunity that every other player has. Like Quentin Grimes, he has the same opportunity getting that ball in the corner and making the play driving to the hoop. He has the same ability. You know what I'm saying? How am I hating here? I really think that he's purposely not playing to his best of his ability because of Tom Thibodeau. He might have checked himself out already. So I don't understand how that's hate. You get what I'm saying? It's like a little annoying. It's annoying all this stuff here. I just don't get it. I just don't get the terminologies and stuff like that. Because hating is saying that, oh, he's too handsome. Oh, his kids are good looking. His wife is good looking. What I'm saying? I wish I had more money, the same money as him. That's hating. You know what I'm saying? If he was scoring 20 points per game and I was saying, nah, he's trash, that's hating. There's quite a few other people out here on this internet. Shout out to some certain people. But those guys are hating all the time. I'm not hating. I'm just stating the facts. What's happening out on the basketball court. You know what I'm saying? This is literally what's happened with Obi Toppin at the moment. So I don't recall me hating on him at all. Same thing with Mitchell Robinson. He's not a tough guy. He can get his rebounds and he can get his block shots, but he doesn't do it every night. And the dude is always hurt. Is that hating, or am I stating the facts of life? Am I stating the facts of fucking life? How is that considered hating? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so my man Almighty Finesse, man. So yeah, it makes me feel bad, man. It makes me feel bad, but it makes me feel bad to do it. But I'm just gonna put you on timeout for now. It makes me feel bad to do that. Eru's a clown. You come on the show all the time, man. We have good conversations and stuff like that. So now you want to start playing the troll thing. So I'm gonna just give you a chance for a little while. You know what I'm saying. And if you keep doing it, then I'm gonna have to straight block you from the stream. You know what I'm saying? So, it kind of hurts me to do that, but you want to come here saying Evil's a clown. You think it's funny, so I'll block you from the stream, man. Then you have to come on here on your spare account, and then you could do that too, and I'll just block you from there too. You know, shout out to Luis. He said great stuff about the hating clowns garbage, man. Yeah, people have small brains and stuff like that. A lot of guys are young. A lot of guys they want to be famous being a troll. Trolls are making a lot of money out there. Not money, but let's say they're getting a lot of clout, a lot of the little fame for being dicks out there. You know what I'm saying? They think that it's funny or whatever. They just get up for it. They can't wait to go on somebody's show to talk shit in the chat. You know what I'm saying? But this shit is annoying, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially too when we've had good conversations talking sports, and you've been a part of the great conversations of talking sports here, especially on this channel. And then now you want to use that to be a troll for no reason. So listen, you're gonna be on timeout for a little while. Like I said, if you do it again, I'm gonna have to block you. You know what I'm saying? I think I might just manually block you when I get a chance. But I mean that's unfortunate, man. So anyway, shout out to CA Mafia. Tibbs and Randall is the worst thing to happen to Reba. Absolutely. But the thing is, what do we do about that? I know I talked about a lot of stuff here. We talked about Julius, his stats. We talked about the G League and on the rest of the G League there. We talked about Quickly and his injury. We talked about the fight between Julius Randle and Fournier. We talked about State and his bullshit. along with Grayson Allen and different trades like that of how we can get better. We're also talking about how other teams get better and how the Knicks need to figure that out. So we talked about a lot here, man. So the one thing that's the constant with that is Tom Thibodeau. So if we make a trade, will Tom Thibodeau play the guys that we trade? You know what I'm saying? If you make a trade to get another player, will Julius Randle, start passing the ball and trusting his teammates and stuff like that? So it's annoying. It's annoying, having to deal with this every single night. But it is what it is, man. So let me do this. Let me take a look at the schedule. So tomorrow the Knicks actually play. They play home. Who do they play here? They're playing the Cavaliers. So the Cavaliers is gonna be a tough matchup. They have a lot of size for us right now. RJ is playing, Julius is playing, and Brunson. As long as we have those three guys, we should be able to compete. This is going to be tricky here because excuse me, Donovan Mitchell didn't really have too good of a game. I think the second to last time we played him. You know what I'm saying? So, I think he's going to try to make a point for the next game. So, shout out to Garland, shout out to him. We kind of match up decently with them with Julius and stuff. But I mean, they have, like I said, they have a lot of big men they could just throw at us at any given time. Dean Wade is back. Dean Wade was giving RJ problems before. Some of the other guys too on Cleveland. Let me make sure I get these names correct here. They got Karis LeVert, of course. Karis LeVert is on that roster still. Karis LeVert is kind of being misused, but you can't really complain if you're winning. The Cavaliers have been winning, so you can't complain about your role and minutes and stuff like that if you're getting good results. So they just finished playing the Bucks and they actually beat the Bucks 114 to 102. I mean, so like I said, this team has the size to match up against teams. You got Mobley. You got Jared Allen's back playing again. Okoro's been starting at the small forward. So they're bringing a lot of defensive players out there. Like I said, Karis LeVert is starting also because Donovan Mitchell was hurt actually. But I think Donovan Mitchell might be available the next game. I'm not really sure. But anyway, they have enough firepower to compete with you. Rubio is back, which is incredible. Kevin Love is back. Cedi Osman has been a steady basketball player, his entire career. Like I said, Stevens, you got Dean Wade is there. So they have a lot of good players. They have a lot of good players there on their roster. They go 10 deep. One, two, three, four. Yeah, they go 10 deep and everybody plays 10 minutes or more. The starters, a lot of the starters didn't even play 30 minutes. Karis LeVert played 29. Jared Allen played 27. Isaac Okoro had 24 minutes. So they do a great job of spacing the minutes around, keeping everybody healthy, and utilizing all of their players. So I mean, that's the opposite of what Tom Thibodeau does. If I could look at the last game that the Knicks played, which was against the Raptors, we got beat by the Raptors. But if you look at our stats, we did play one, two, three, four. We played nine guys, right? We did play guys 10 minutes, but McBride played 10 minutes. He had 0 points, two rebounds, two assists, no blocks, no steals, two turnovers. You know what I'm saying? 0 for 3 from the field. What is he doing to help us besides defense? That's a situational player. Obi Toppin had 14 points. But he was 4 for 5 for three. Did we draft Obi Toppin to be a corner three guy? He's 4 for 5. Now, like the last couple games, he hasn't really been hitting the three. So if Obi Toppin's not hitting the three, he's not doing nothing for you. And if you want to talk about the other things that he's supposed to do for you, one rebound, one assist. You know what I'm saying? And he got that rebound. I think it hit him in the head or something like that when he got that rebound. It's not like that he went up there and grabbed the key rebound. No, it just like hit him in the head on the way out or something like that. So he's not helping you at the power forward spot. He can't create his own shot on the perimeter, so he's not helping you at the small forward spot. He definitely cannot guard the small forward. You know what I'm saying? And he can't guard the power forward either. So what is Obi Toppin bringing you? And that's not hate. That's the freaking truth. Hartenstein's been playing like pure dog shit. He did have 3 blocks and 2 steals. Fournier played bad too. Yeah, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Had an argument with Julius. It's we're just floundering right now. How do we get better, man? Tom Thibodeau, is a big part of this problem, man. Definitely killing the team there. Shout out to Top Notch, man. Definitely appreciate Top Notch there. Yeah, man. Spare account. Yeah, man. These guys do that, man. You block them on one account, they'll come on the next account and start fucking with you. But like I said, Amadi Finesse is always around, always on the channel. So I don't know why he's fucking with me now. He's been doing that for like the last few shows. I've been trying to ignore him, but it's annoying, man. I know I got you. I got you what you were saying. Um D Cool 718. Shout out to my man here. That's Gideon. Gideon always pops up in here. Obi was 4 for 4 and was hustling, and Tibbs gives him 11 minutes and all game. That's a big problem too. Like he did have only 11 minutes, but he actually had 14 points. He's 4 for 4. He was on 5 for 7, 4 for 5 from three. So he played good minutes and whatever in the little bit of minutes that he had as far as shooting the ball. But you can't go to Obi Toppin because for what you say as far as scoring, he had 1 rebound. He had 1 rebound and wasn't playing good defense. So you can't like even though the guy's scoring, like you need the physicality. He's not bringing it. At the same time too, you can close your eyes to it if the guy is scoring. I mean, the Tom Thibodeau bites himself in his own ass. So that's annoying. It's very annoying. Uh, we need a we need a stretch four. Excuse me, a stretch three, small forward, off the bench to stretch the big off the bench, and a stretch big off the bench. Yeah, I agree with you. So, like I said, that's why I brought up Bajan Bogdanovic. That's somebody that we could pull right now. We could literally pluck him off the Detroit bench right now. I didn't realize he was 33 though. He is kind of old, but I mean the guy still could score. He still could shoot the lights out. So that's somebody that we can literally utilize. Another player that I mentioned in the podcast already is that dude Svi. I can't pronounce his name at all, but it's Svi. I'm trying to see if I can get it phonetically here. McCulloch. Svi McCulloch. I'll say that. Svi McCulloch, whatever. He played really well in the European tournament, man. So if we trade for Bajan and he's making 18, 20 million, that's not really that big of a deal. And he's 33 years old, so he's gonna be playing until he's 36 until his contract is up. But we got Svi right here, and I think Svi is how old is Svi? Svi's only 25. And he had a good tournament too. I think he averaged like, he was part of the tournament team, the all tournament team for Europe, if I'm not mistaken. So he played really well. So why don't we just see what Svi has for us? You want to talk about a stretch big off the bench or a small forward off the bench? That's definitely Svi. Every time he comes in there, Svi always hits his first 3-point shot every time he comes in. So I mean, so the guy can shoot the lights out. So why aren't we giving him a shot? And he's athletic; he can get up there and get on that rim too. So why aren't we utilizing this guy? And for the simple fact that the Knicks are not really good at defending the 3-point shot, I'm quite sure and play in the practice, Fee is busting the Knicks ass. Okay, maybe his defense is not up to Tom Thibodeau's liking, but at the same time too, we can't beggars can't be choosers, man. It's crazy. Why aren't we taking advantage of certain players, especially when we're struggling? We absolutely need the skill set that he brings to the table. Shout out to Luis here. Randall can't play when the defense is clutching hard. Yes, on the last game, Toronto, all they did was they were sending double teams to him, and it was so crazy that they were just standing. 3 guys, 4 guys were on him, and simple. If three guys are on you, that means 2 guys are open, right? And excuse me, Julius Randle cannot make that pass, to save his life, man. And like I said, that's why Fournier had that fight with him. Barrett also freezes and gets the shot off when the defense is clamped. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing with RJ is never going to be that creator that's gonna you're gonna give the ball to, to rely on offense and stuff like that. That's RJ's never going to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? So right off the bat, when the defense gets hot, he won't be the guy. Even though he did hit that dunk at the buzzer, to force overtime in the second to last Toronto game. RJ actually had a good game. But like I said, RJ has a good game throughout the course of the game. But he's not gonna be like you give the ball to him and say, do something for me. He can't do that. He can't create his own shot. But like I said, within the flow of the offense and throughout the game, he's going to get you those buckets. I think that's important. I think you would agree to that, man. I think that's very important for the Knicks to have a guy like that can give you buckets consistently throughout the game just to keep the pace. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, so I mean, this since Jared Allen is back, this is probably the reason why the Knicks are not going to play well tomorrow, man. With Jared Allen and Mobley in the front court, and then you got to worry about Kevin Love off the bench too. Now, I mean, that's a really good front court, and then like I said, Karis LeVert, if Donovan Mitchell plays, Isaac Okoro, they got a lot of defenders. Seti Osman is still good, so you don't get a break on that team, and they have a really good basketball team, very deep, literally very deep basketball team, and they play 10 guys. They play 10 guys, significant minutes on that roster. So it is what it is. Yeah, I'm just playing relax, but it's annoying. I got to tell you, a mighty finesse is annoying. So I mean, you gotta deal with the reaction if you want to do that. So yeah, man. So here goes Luis again here. So Luis is back on the YouTube, man. So listen, Luis, man, if you want to get down on the channel, man, hit me up and let's see if we can get something going there. Uh, yeah, biggest market in the world. We're talking about Bogdanovich Grayson. Yeah, it makes you think, man. Yeah, the key word today is frustrating. You know what I'm saying? So if if I had a setup, we can do something with that. But the key word for tonight is frustrating, and the key word for the season is frustrating. Key word for the Knicks is just frustrating altogether. We're talking about Grayson now, like you said, it's fee. We're talking about all these different guys. We were talking about. I see Gordon there, but we were talking about Gordon from Denver, trying to make a trade for him too. There quite a few players that have been mentioned throughout the time here, and it's like they're not game. None of them are game changers. None of them are guys that are really gonna help us, man. But at the same time, what are we supposed to fucking do? Just sit in our hands and just watch every single game. Oh man, we lost all because we just missed our shots today. I can't deal with that every night. And I don't know how other podcasters could deal with that. Yeah, but they just miss shots. Yeah, sometimes they make them, sometimes they don't. But how could that be the take in every single night and you're good with that? It's the same thing. It's like Groundhog Day. Oh, the Knicks, if the Knicks played better defense, if they would have made a crisper pass or something like that. Like, I don't know how you go through every single night talking about that. Or let's say like saying like, oh, we need to get a superstar player. Oh, these the guys are trash. Or start talking about the time machine. Oh, back in 2003, we should have drafted LeBron and whatever. We should have tanked for LeBron in 2003. We can't continuously keep talking about the Knicks like that. We have to figure out the forward movement. What is the next step? What do the Knicks do well? What can we do to get us to where we need to go? That's what I'm trying to say here with all this stuff here. Yeah, so here goes a mighty finesse here. He said Rui Hachimura would have been good for us. Absolutely. And they only traded Kendrick Nunn and 3 first rounders. So I mean, we have a Kendrick Nunn on our roster. We have 3 first rounders. You know what I'm saying? So the Knicks should have been in the mix of that. We've been linked to this guy Kuzma all year. Just by them trading Roy Hachimura, that means that they're going to be dedicated to Kuzma, after this season. So Kuzma's probably going to get a big check from Washington. So our opportunity to trade for Kuzma or Roy Hachimura is done. It's pretty much done. So any trades from them is out of here. Shout out to other guys too. They have other guys on the roster too, but they actually play them. They actually use these players. So I mean the Knicks are I really don't know what's next. I wish that somebody will help us out, man. Boycotting, I don't know, man. The orange and blue is in the blood. I don't know if we could do the boycott stuff, man. But I think Leon Rose is doing his best, trying not to destroy the franchise by giving up all of our assets and stuff, especially for like a guy like Bogdanovich. I just mentioned him. I didn't realize he was 33, but he's 33 years old. So if he was to trade for him, say like like I said, say for Rose and maybe Rose and Cam Reddish, to Detroit, to get him back, right? Would that work? Money wise, it would. You know what I'm saying? Would Detroit do that? Because they would get the cap relief from Rose, and then they would get the nice young player from Cam Reddish. Would they do that? They possibly might do that. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only way that I would do that. I wouldn't trade them a whole bunch of first rounders and stuff like that for Bogdanovich. You know what I'm saying? But some team might. Like I said, three second round picks. I mean, come on, man. It's crazy, man. Salute to Comega. What's good, Comega? So anyway, like, since Comega's here, Comega's one of the regulars here. They're definitely one of the good guys in the chat. Like I said, I will be coming on at 10 on PM. The next time I'll do this, will probably be on Wednesday at 10 p.m. I'll probably come on Wednesday 10 p.m. or Friday. I don't know if I'll be able to do it every day off during the week, but we'll see. Like I said, I was gonna get the phone lines going today, but I'm gonna take a break there. I'm just trying to get everyone used to me being on at 10. So I will be on at 10. I think I might do it every day. I literally think I might do it every day, every off day, every time the Knicks have an off day, I literally might come on at 10. So right now, like I said, this is kind of like a pilot thing because I never did the 10 o'clock slot before. So I'll just look out for me, man. I'll communicate with you guys in the YouTube community tab. Also too maybe on Instagram and maybe Twitter too. I'll do some posts too to let you guys know that I'm on doing this stuff here. That way I can get you guys more involved in the show. Shout out to Anna Grill. So got to be Jamaican, right? Got the Negril up in there. Rui wasn't getting traded to a division rival though. I agree with that too. That's a hard pill to swallow. That's also too that these trades with Kuzma and stuff like that. Those are all pipe dreams. Even though we constantly talked about it, these are all really pipe dreams and stuff like that. So you bring a good point, man. So maybe in the next pod, we could talk about what's going on in the West Coast and really go through what teams are looking to do something. Maybe we might be able to get something from those guys. Since we're talking about the Washington Wizards here, the Washington Wizards still have what's my man's name? The Washington Wizards, Will Barton. Excuse me. They still have Will Barton on that team. That's not hurt. They just not playing him. So that's a guy that could possibly be plucked off it. But like I said, you make a point. They're not going to get traded to a division rival. I get that. But Will Barton is definitely dangling, man. So is he a player that they would consider trading him to the Knicks? He definitely would be a great backup. Even right now, Will Barton could start over Quentin Grimes to tell you the truth. But Will Barton's been used to coming off the bench and stuff like that. So he actually would fit a role really nicely for the Knicks. You know, I mentioned Will Barton. I also mentioned Jay Crowder. Of course, everybody talks about Jay Crowder, and then also too, what's my man from the Clippers? He's playing for the Clippers now. Let me take a quick look at him. This was yesterday. Did he play? So I'm talking about Robert Covington. So Robert Covington has just started to play minutes in the Clippers. He was benched for some reason, due to coaches' decisions and stuff. But now he's starting to get minutes. Now he's getting 21 minutes a game. The last times I've been checking him, he had one 3-point shot, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Man, uh, one block and 2 steals. Absolute beast coming off the bench, and he's on the Clippers bench right now. So I was thinking that we could pluck him off there, but now he's starting to play again. So Kawhi Leonard is back. You got Paul George is healthy. You got Mook Morris has been starting from. You got Zubac, Terrence Mann. They got Powell off the bench. They got Batum and Reggie Jackson off the bench. So they got one of the deepest teams in the NBA. Robert Covington is coming off the bench in that group too, man. So they have a very solid 8-man rotation. One, two, three. A team like that can run an 8-man rotation because they have 8 solid guys, 8 guys that can literally start for you. So you have to play a tight 8-man rotation with that. Because everybody's going to get 20 minutes per game. They literally run everybody 20 minutes, which is incredible. That's dope there. That's wishful thinking talking about Robert Covington. Robert Covington will be absolutely sexy coming off the bench, backing up Julius and RJ. Absolutely fantastic, I think. But a trade could be made out there. But anyway, so I mean, Luis is talking about tremendous rebounder, defender, and stuff like that. That's my man Robert Covington. You know, create his own shot, take over the game. That's over 6'1". Will Barton is not really a game changer like that, but at least he could come in and spell a little bit. So if you were talking about game changer, you're talking about Chicago Bulls, Zach Levine or DeRozan. But it looks like the way that these guys have been playing, just casually looking at box scores and stuff like that. The Heat has been playing a lot better. The Bulls have been playing a lot better. Wizards have been playing a lot better. A lot of these teams are starting to play good now. So the Bulls beat the Hawks tonight. So all these guys are competing right now. So like I said, the Knicks are in a bad spot right now for us to be playing bad and for us to be unhealthy and stuff like that. Like I said, we lost 4 straight. It looks like we're gonna lose against the Cavaliers, Celtics, the Nets, and then we play the Lakers. So definitely the next 3 games are in danger of us losing those. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't look good for us there. But like I said, at the same time, while we're losing, if you look at the standings right now, the Knicks are in the 7th spot. If we lose 3 straight, now you're talking about the Pacers might get above us, the Bulls might come into the playoff picture. The Raptors are coming up as well, the Wizards too. So we could be overtaken by any of those teams. We already got overtaken by the Miami Heat because they've been playing well lately. So Atlanta Hawks has been kind of floundering. But any of these teams could overtake the Knicks as far as being automatic playoff, in the playoff picture. So it's crazy, man. If we go from having such a great season where we got as far as 5th seed or sixth or 5th or 6th seed at one point, and then now we are, about to be out the playoff picture again, man. So it's crazy. So I'm a little bit behind on these. Am I behind? Not really. You guys are just really really contributing today. Um, You got CA Mafia. I'm watching you, man. There's not a player that could save us from this mess. Only a real superstar, and there's no way we can get one. We had one, Donovan Mitchell, but we didn't try to get him. It's crazy, man. Yeah, man. 10 o'clock, man. Keep your stuff synchronized there. Why does my chat say I have like over 100 over 100 comments that I didn't see? It's crazy. So I mean, you guys definitely are contributing, man. I see a couple new names here. Let me see. Somebody I missed here. Somebody I haven't seen. Here we go. I just want to highlight somebody I haven't seen before. Shout out to my man there. DeRozan, Covington will be great. At what cost? He still makes a lot of money too, But like I said, he was sitting on the bench not doing anything. It's very recently that he's been playing in their rotation. So I think it's done. So CA Mafia, he brings up a conversation here. No, this is not what you were saying. He was talking about Dolan. Where is it at? There you go. CA Mafia was talking about Dolan here. So you got to be very careful. I got to tell you that. Be very careful about talking about Dolan on the internet because it was brought to my attention that he has like this software that whenever you mention his name, they actually investigate it. You know what I'm saying? So if you're saying defamatory stuff against the team or against Dolan himself or his family or whatever, he puts you on a list. So if you scan your ticket or whatever, anything like that, they'll come to your seat and let you know, give you a warning, or somebody will say something. The security will definitely approach you and tell you, listen, you're on a watch list and stuff like that. And that's literally a real thing. So I've never had anything bad to say about about Dolan. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a good supporter of him because this guy Dolan has done everything in his power to spend the money to get to try to get the Knicks better. People call him all kind of names and stuff, but if you go down the history of all the coaches that he's brought here, all the names of the general managers and stuff like that, nothing but the greatest names in basketball. We had Phil Jackson come back here for Christ's sake. He didn't coach, but he was the general manager, the president and stuff like that. He didn't do a good job, but he did start the process of getting Dolan out of the involvement. He did start that, so that's in the history books. But I mean, Phil Jackson signed here. Larry Brown signed here. Lenny Wilkins signed here at one point. Don Chaney was here. Don Nelson was here. you know, these are some of the greatest NBA minds that have ever been in the NBA. Derek Fisher was here. What else? Jeff Hornacek. These are all big time names, people that he's put his trust in. These are not just run like guys off the street that don't know nothing about basketball. These are some of the greatest players that played, the game and that he brought here to try to figure this thing out. Donnie Walsh, one of the best GMs that ever GM'd in the league. He brought Donnie Walsh here. You know what I'm saying? He brought a whole bunch of different guys here that Isaiah Thomas was here for Christ's sake. So there was so many different people that he's brought to this organization. Is it his fault that everybody fucked up? He spent the money. He's still. He's probably still paying Allen Houston, but that's probably why Allen Houston is always on our TV every time you watch a Knicks game. You know what I'm saying? So he spent every last dollar of his to try to get the Knicks to win. You know what I'm saying? So I have nothing bad to say about Dolan, man. So is it Dolan's fault? Is the front office Tibbs? It's Dolan is the common denominator. I do get that. But like I said, I already made the point about Dolan. But whose fault is it? The front office, Tom Thibodeau? It's a combination of everybody. Because Dolan hired them. Leon Rose is a super agent. On paper, it looks like it's something that it would do well for us. But as a super agent, you would think that he would be like wheeling and dealing because he has an inside track on everything. But so far he's been extremely conservative. So we haven't been making any moves. So what's the point of getting a hotshot agent to be our team president if he's not gonna wheel and deal? So what's the fucking point? What's the point of that? Him being here was for us to be able to get that superstar and stuff like that. But we could have got Donovan Mitchell, but we didn't. So what was the point? What was the point of it? If he's going to be conservative, I could be conservative if I don't want to lose my job. I could be conservative and do the same thing that Leon Rose has done. Tom Thibodeau, is definitely a big problem with this whole thing as well. So just goes down the whole thing there. Shout out to Harlem CEO, man. What's good with you, Harlem CEO? Any stars want to leave? Want to leave team? Want to leave the present team? Look around the league. Not really, man. Just looking at the Bucks, Giannis not leaving, Durant and Kyrie's not leaving. If Kyrie leaves, nobody wants him. I know we don't want him. The Cleveland Cavaliers, we could have had Donovan Mitchell, man. The Heat, they were floundering, but now they got themselves back into on the playoff picture. But all their players are getting old now. The Hawks, we're not dealing with them. The Pacers, they might have some players too. Like I said, they actually been one of those teams that been kind of losing. Let me take a look at their roster really quick since CEO mentioned them. So I think they played yesterday. Let me see. Did they play yesterday? No, they did not. They played Saturday then. So they played Saturday against the Suns. They did lose. They lost against the Suns. Looking at the stats for that game, the Pacers, they got McCollum started 18. He had 18, 10, and 12. Big time. Literally, that dude, TJ McCollum, is is like the best backup point guard in the NBA. Fantastic player, man. He'll be a guy that'll be nice to have. Shout out to us getting to talking about Caruso, trying to trade Caruso off the Bulls. This guy TJ McCollum would be awesome coming off our bench as a backup point guard. You know, uh Miles Turner, he was 16 and 12, 3 assists, how many blocks? 4 blocks. He doesn't really rebound that well all the time, but all the other stuff is legit. So Turner's there. You got Buddy Heald, a bunch of guys there. They got Mathurin there. They got Duarte. They got what's his name? Jalen Smith there, the power forward. OJ Brissett. They got a couple young guys there that they can elevate into to start really tanking and that type of thing. So I think the Pacers might be a team that we might be able to plug somebody off. But any of these guys stars, not necessarily. But a Buddy Hield, we can absolutely get a Buddy Hield off that team. McCollum, we can definitely get McCollum off that team or Miles Turner if we wanted to. But that depends on Leon Rose and these guys, or if that's what they want to do. Yeah, Donnie Walsh definitely was a great GM, man. But yo, if you remember Donnie Walsh, he was old already, but he came into the NBA walking, standing up. He was strong, big, strong guy, and he left the Knicks in a wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? So being the general manager of the Knicks team president is a stressful ass job. So when he went back to the because he went back to the Pacers as a analyst or excuse me as an advisor, and all of a sudden he's not in the wheelchair anymore. So it's crazy, man. It's like the heaviest jersey that and the lights are extremely bright in New York, so it's crazy, man. He go see a mafia. I said, who cares about stats and sucks on defense? He can't play make, hit the free throw. Yeah, I got you. I'm a little bit behind a little bit on some of the things that you're saying there, but I got you. Let me see. Oh, so you guys are talking about my man Hartenstein. It's not worth the argument, guys. Are you guys gonna kill each other over Hartenstein? I remember in high school, man. It was definitely Knicks and Bulls, and we used to be almost going to blows over that stuff. Guys wanted to jump certain guys over there because they were Knicks fans and stuff like that. Has Mitch Rob ever played more than 60 games a season? Mitch is needed, but he's always injured. I mentioned him too. I'm trying not to talk badly about Mitch Robinson today. I wasn't trying to talk bad about Obi, but somebody did mention him. But this guy Mitchell Robinson, like you said, has he played more than 60 games? So the thing with him is like we have to operate as if Mitchell Robinson is not here. You know what I'm saying? We can't operate where like, oh man, we need Mitch. If Mitch is back here, we'd be good. If that just saying that is just a loser mentality. So we absolutely need to get a better center here, somebody else here. Well, Mitch Robinson is healthy. That's definitely going to make us so much better. But we need to get another guy in here that's good because just like the Lakers, they had Anthony Davis, but they went and traded for Roy Hachimura that plays the same position, the power forward. So they got Roy Hachimura because they know that Hachimura could handle coming off the bench and he can also handle starting. You know what I'm saying? So when Anthony Davis is down, they know they have somebody that could come in there and they won't miss a beat. So that's the thing what the Knicks have to do. Hartenstein, I thought he was gonna be that guy. He's not. Tom Thibodeau done broke his confidence. He doesn't use him the same way that he used him earlier on in the season. It doesn't take advantage of his passing or anything like that. So I'm quite sure iHeart would probably want to get out of here too. He's just not playing his style of basketball. But we need to get another center in here to help us out that can do a couple things. there's not really too many people out there that we can get. Like say, Miles Turner has been on our radar for a long time. Shout out to Demarcus Cousins. I mentioned him a couple podcasts ago. Demarcus Cousins could come in here, on a 10-day contract or something like that. But like one of the guys mentioned earlier, we would have to waive somebody, in order to make that happen. Cam Reddish, like I said, they're talking about trading him for nothing. So it is what it is. Yeah, we were talking about this a little earlier, man. This is this pod here. We talked about Grayson Allen a little bit earlier here. It's possible. Anything is possible. But it goes to show, like, you got to take all these things with a grain of salt, as they say. But when there's smoke, there's fire. So I mean, we're already talking about Reggie Bullock, and now we're talking about Grayson Allen. And they were talking about the Knicks are just looking for a second round pick, so that might actually be true, just based off of what's been out there. It might actually be true that the Knicks are literally just looking for a second round pick, because we might value a roster spot over trading for a player. So I mean, that's another conversation too. Look and see who's available on the free agent market that we can sign up here to help this team out. That's another thing too. Mellows is one guy that's out there. We definitely need his services. Shooting the three, backing up power forward is definitely everything that we need right there. Coming from Carmelo, so that would be interesting as well. Uh, Here goes Francisco Carrillo, man. I haven't seen you in a minute. You pop in from time to time. We should have drafted a five instead of signing iHeart. Yeah, and that was the key too. We traded Duran to Detroit, and he's playing. He's been playing really well too. Let's look at his stats. I'll read off his last game too if I could find it. Did they play today? Yes, they did. They played the Bucks today. Wow, this score here, 150 to 130 tonight. The Bucks beat Detroit by 20, but it was 150 to 130. Jesus Christ. So this guy Jalen Duran, the guy that we should have drafted, had 23 points, 15 rebounds. Let me see the blocks, two blocks, two steals. I mean, so that's a good player there. That's a guy that we probably, like you said, we probably should have used that draft pick, kept Duran, and then we wouldn't have to sign iHeart. So there's a lot of funny things that happen in the offseason that's miscalculated. Whose fault is that? That's Leon Rose right there. So if you want to blame, like I said, if anybody wants to blame anything going on in this thing here, I can't argue with it. I can't argue with it. You know, yeah, man. So Negril said, we only need rim protection and tip schemes. At the five, scoring isn't the issue. I get you. But it's not the point I always try to make with the scoring is not necessarily scoring. When you say scoring, I'm not talking we're not talking about 20 points per game. It's just talking about being somebody that can get the ball and finish. Rather than just get the ball and just dunk it and break your hand, or turn your ankle trying, because you're trying to make this athletic play when the play is just simple, just lay it up. Just turn, spin, and hook shot, or stop and shoot the jump shot. Just keep it simple. Mitchell Robinson doesn't keep anything simple. That's why he's always in trouble. So the scoring thing, man. Miles Turner is a scorer, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. You say like one of the Lopez brothers. They're good at finishing. They're not necessarily going to give you 20 points per game, but if they got the ball, they can put post up, turn around, and give you a nice little hook shot. Just to be an active scorer. Mitch Robinson doesn't have any of that in his game. When he does it, it's like, whoa, as soon as when Mitchell Robinson did that turnaround and he shot it, when he did it, it changed the game. Him doing that just changed the game. But he just doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have that in his game. He never works on it. It's just crazy, man. Yeah, man. Grayson Allen is definitely weird. Freaking weirdo. Something might be wrong with him, man. It happens to everybody. He got the crazy look in his eyes. I'm looking at him on the side of the screen. He had the crazy googly eyes. Let me see. CA Mafia. Who do we expect to our heart to hit on cuts? Do exactly. This is another problem too. But at the same time, that's his game. His game is to hit guys on cuts. Deuce Grimes, to say Obi Toppin, all those guys are cutters. So we could take advantage of those guys in those situations. But we haven't been able to do that. Tom Thibodeau basically took that whole scenario out of the offense. So right now he's done. There's nothing that he can do to help us right now. Uh, so was there a trade? So Detroit would take Burks and Noel, get Casper. I believe so. It was like a weird trade that we did. It was well, it was a trade that we made, and then as the draft went on, a lot of other little trades were happening, and then we found out that most of these trades were a part of those trades. You know what I'm saying? It was very complicated. It's very confusing too. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Kareem. Shout out to quite a few people that were there at the get together that Sim does on Nothing But Knicks at Atlantic City, where we all get together and do a watch party. They did it 2 years in a row. I went last year. We had a good time. You know what I'm saying. Next year, hopefully, more people come out. We can have a little bit more fun. Shout out to DJ Shuttle. He was there. DJ Shuttle's a great DJ, man. So he was playing really good music. I was the only one dancing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Harlem CEO. I'm quite sure you saw me dancing a little bit, but nobody was really dancing and stuff like that. But everybody was chilling, having a good time. So a lot of people came out. We had a lot of good basketball conversations and stuff. The hotel is dope. It's kind of off the strip, but it still has a really good view of Atlantic City, man. So that was a good spot. So I literally can't wait. I can't wait to that. But I want the Knicks to make the playoffs. I don't want to have to worry if the Knicks are going to get top picks or anything like that. I just don't want to deal with that no more. Shout out to Grayson Allen. Shout out to Draymond. Draymond is a free agent. That's a big question too. Would you sign Draymond in the offseason? I think I would. To back up Julius, I think I would. To have that guy off the bench there to be that accountability person, man. You want to trying to get somewhere? You trying to get to the thing? You bring Draymond in there to really put the pressure on, and once that pressure comes on, the heat is in the locker room and stuff like that. Hopefully, it doesn't burst the wrong way. Hopefully, it ignites the furnace. You know what I'm trying to say? That's interesting. Somebody like that at the end of his career, looking to get into broadcasting, him coming to MSG will actually be a good thing for him because we have our own network and stuff. So he'll be able to do that, even as it doesn't need it. He has one of the top rated podcasts out there. Uh, Trevor Keels. He's getting better though. I've been watching the G League games here and there. You know what I'm saying? So he's been getting better. He still can't really find the basket. His shooting, turnovers are up and stuff like that. He does have no athleticism, so he probably is never gonna play well, man. That Jaquan Jeffers, man, Jaquan Jefferson, he's definitely somebody that needs to be called up. But like I said, we need that roster move in order to do that. I think so too. But Draymond got to think a little. I got to think twice about stepping to Julius because Julius will fight him back. He's not going to be like that kid that he knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Julius Randle's going to give him a fight. So two big guys like that. In the same place. Usually big guys they like to pick on the little guys. That's why he punched the dude. But if it was Julius Randle talking greasy to him, Draymond Green would have did nothing. He would have been talking shit. He would have gotten to his face. He wouldn't have punched him. He would have gotten to his face and just waited and prayed for somebody to break it up. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna go toe to toe against Julius Randle because Julius Randle will bang with him. I know that for a fact. You know what I'm saying? He would bang with him. So talking about Deuce, Deuce is not the issue. No, issue is personnel. Probably once Cam is axed out. I get you. Yeah, man. So the big thing is with this whole podcast is how do we get better? So that's going to be basically the topic of all my podcasts is going to be how do the Knicks get better? As we do the watch alongs are becoming a talk show at this point. Shout out to Kareem, man. Kareem, I'm gonna ask Kareem to see if he can accompany me for the watch alongs from here on out. And see if we can get some other guys in there. Shout out to Luis. Like I said, I hit up Luis. There's quite a few people that I rock with on this internet stuff, man. So we can get together and really talk some Knicks here and really build up the content. So anyway, I definitely appreciate my regulars here. We got, like I said, Harlem CEO, CA Mafia. Shout out to the Grill. 11 is here. Shout out to everybody here that popped up in the chat here. Next time we do this, I'll get into the phone lines. I'll keep it funky, just like this, just me on the screen. If somebody wants to pop in and get in on the chat, they can. But I really want you guys to get on the phones and stuff like that. If you're interested in talking, I have the phone lines open. So when I bring up some of these topics, after I go through the topic, once the phone starts ringing, then we can go back and start having those conversations about some of these topics that we talked about today. Yeah, man. So once again, shout out to NBA underscore New York. That's on Twitter. Please follow this guy. He's definitely gonna give you follow him and also hit the bell too. Because he's definitely essential as far as Knicks information. So definitely find this guy's page. Like I said, hit the bell so you'll be notified that when he posts something. Absolutely essential Knicks site here on Twitter. Westchester Knicks, of course, you gotta sell, You definitely got to follow them just to be, just to know what they're doing over there. So shout out to Westchester Knicks. This is them here. Uh, of course, shout out to basketball reference, man. Definitely valuable asset there to the basketball community. Who's this? Excuse me, my wife is paying if she's paying attention. Tiana Hawkins, who this? Who that is? She's a bum. She's an older player. She's like 31 or whatever. But I don't know, just looking at the picture, 6'3", 186. Anyway, moving along. We talked about Quickley. Shout out to Knicks Film School too. I hope they do this more often with the breakdowns of the videos. So hopefully they do that more often because I think that's their, that's what they do. Knicks Film School. So they need to get back into that. So shout out to them. Shout out to State and his crazy ass. Shout out to the Big Nick Energy. Please follow them. They're pretty good too. Bobby Marks, I'm not really a fan of him, but I used his grease board stuff here. So anyway, thank you guys for popping in here, Knicks Podcast. Like I said, I'll be doing this more often around 10 p.m. on the off days whenever the Knicks aren't playing. Check out your notifications, stuff like that. I might set it up late, but I usually will be coming on at 10 just to talk about the day's topics and just to see what you guys want to talk about too, as far as the phone lines and things of that nature. So anyway, we'll see what happens as time goes on. But thank you guys for tuning in, once again, to the chat and stuff. But we out here. It's your boy E-Rule, 4 fingers to the forehead, tucking the thumb salute. And I'll see you guys next time, man. Peace.
E-Rule, I see you. Die hard. Trap. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard, homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell a trophy, yeah, you need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die. City on my back. They ask me what's my name and it's on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer that's gon' murder